if you are somebody who commands intent,
you just don't know what your role is yet.
You don't know. You're a player. You no matter what. If you are somebody who commands intention and power in terms of the occult and the esoteric, you are, no matter what level of life you are, you'll go higher up because you're now a player in the game. As one very fine a guy who was into remote influence and remote viewing said, and I do agree with that guy called Gerald O'Donnell. Don't agree with all of his work, but when it comes to, in terms of what's termed remote influencing and remote viewing and all that kind of thing, what he studied, there's a lot to be learned from what these guys were studying in the 1970s. And so, you know, these things appear in the room. It's something I have to live with. It's something that is ongoing.
And when they appear, are you getting... Is there an exchange of information?
There isn't. There's a very gentle approach because it scares me. I mean, you know, this is not something that is normal by any sense of the word. No. You know, normal. It's not normal. Well, it's actually a run-of-the-mill thing. I mean, they park up outside, you know, they go to Tesco's every day. No, it's not a normal thing, but it's something I have to live with.
So coming forward then, there's been this gentle drip feeding, acclimatising you in a way to their presence, to what they look like even.
Yes, the acclimatisation is present, and the indication of a hybrid integration continuum is what they do. Some of them do. Some of them are geneticists. They like to experiment with genetics.
Do you think you've been involved in a genetic program?
Yeah, I do. I think that something like that's happened, although of whatever happened there.
So do you think you have hybrid children, for example? Do you believe you have hybrid children, for example?
That's something that I won't discuss.
Right.
I think that's something I need to be very careful of because...
No, that's fine. A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I think we'd better not go down that avenue. But it's interesting to see that the covert agencies that monitor people, like you see in films like the 4400 and a few of the other movies that we see in the mainstream media where they have these covert agencies following people, that is definitely what has happened to me.
So does that give you the impression that there is a collusion between our, say, an aspect of
I wouldn't say collusion, I would say confusion. I would say that among our governments on the UFO situation there is confusion, and well, you know this, but for those who are new to the subject, do not let them kid you on that they're not interested in it. They are. They take a very keen interest in it, and anybody who's having any liaison with the UFO situation is closely monitored. Somebody like me will be closely monitored and is closely monitored in whatever way possible, whether that be on Facebook, on Twitter, being followed. The incidents I've had in the pubs on 2 occasions now, way back this was, where, you know, it's quite spooky to have somebody says something to you that only you know what they're talking about, and they know in the game of things, and they've mentioned it to you as you walk past them.
So this is a complete stranger we're talking about.
It's somebody who was responsible for following me and harassing me. We'll never get to the bottom of who he was. We'll never get to the bottom of. We'll never be able to prosecute or anything like that.
Do you think that the stalking, that following, do you think that's government?
No, I don't think it's government. No. Oddly enough, no. It's some kind of rogue element that is probably not government. Now, at first I thought it was government. At first I thought, but I've had to study it that much, and I've had to look at espionage, I've had to look at security issues, I've had to look at all these things, and it led me to conclude that no, it wasn't the governments that per se that would be doing that. I think most government, as I've seen time and time again, most people in government would be absolutely horrified if you were to present some of the real stuff that goes on with UFOs and the more, you know, the more malevolent interactions that happen. But this is all about, I hasten to add, this is all noise. This is humanity is awakening, and it's all about our further integration with what's out there in the big world. And